But one of the key themes you introduce is the idea of remarkable cultures versus toxic cultures. So what risks do toxic cultures pose to the success of business? That's kind of the first question. And then what specific actions would you recommend an executive or anybody in this room here should look to do to transform their rules-based toxic culture into a principle-based remarkable culture?
It's one of my favorite parts of Bet on Talent is what Steve just talked about, is this discussion on that. It was things that I had insight over, and especially even in leaving Chick-fil-A and being out consulting in other cultures. The biggest thing that toxic cultures cannot do is win the hearts of the customers or the people that you serve. That's who really pays the price. And the employees, obviously, in your organizations do along the way. You all know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. And you know that it puts risk, high turnover and poor customer service and all of those things. In terms of transforming it, I think you have to go back to the basics of your culture. And so I define a remarkable culture as a meaningful purpose, a challenging mission, and demonstrated core values. Pretty simple, you all know that. The magic is in how well it's really executed, right? When I talk about a meaningful purpose, the why you exist at all. And every time, and we did this at Chick-fil-A, every time there was a struggle, whatever happened, we had a PR crisis in 2012. What did we do? We went back to our purpose. Why are we in business? Now, for Chick-fil-A, that purpose was to glorify God by being a faithful steward of all that's entrusted to us and a positive influence in all who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. So we went back to that. That's who we are. So how are we going to weather any obstacle that we have? That helped a lot. Mission, reviewing what are we on goal to accomplish. For us, it was to be remarkable. So that was a filter that every decision we made, be remarkable in the product, be remarkable in the service, and be remarkable in the experiences that people have. I think that be remarkable in experiences has a lot to do with that story I told you about that veteran a few minutes ago. And then I think values, to look at to revisit your values, and sometimes they need to change, especially in times of crisis. And that may surprise you that I say that. Our change at Chick-fil-A came about when Truett Cathy died. He was the founder. Our original values were excellence, integrity, generosity, and loyalty. Those are all great values, one-word values, but they describe Truett. They stayed in the company. We didn't decide not to be excellent because he was gone, but we had a new CEO, a new president, a new executive committee, a new board of directors. We had all of those things. We were making all these changes, and so we had to say, okay, who are we now? And so it became we're here to serve, we're better together, we're purpose-driven, and we pursue what's next. And so I think that anytime you're in that situation, going back to your roots in that way, examining it, recommitting to it, communicating it better, and changing what needs to be changed. And then the big key is, are we walking the talk? Because most of the time I find organizations that are toxic, most of the time they have those things somewhere, but sometimes they put them in a drawer, in a closet, and the leadership is not living it out.